Spring is here, a fleeting moment in the grand cycle of seasons. A gentle but urgent reminder that time is not on our side. Paul left early this morning to get some hay bales from town. We've decided to try growing potatoes in straw, a new experiment, one that might work or might not. We live by the cycles of the earth, and the window for planting is narrow. Just wide enough to give us hope, but not too much room for error. On the land we've chosen to call home, every moment counts. Our friend Darryl, ever generous, gave us a mountain of cherry tomatoes from his garden. He's grown so many he didn't know what to do with them and handed them over to us. And from my dad and stepmother Mon came a different kind of gift. Cucumbers, more than we can possibly eat fresh, so they were a welcome surprise at my last visit. And I already know what I'm going to do with them. Cucumber relish. Tangy and sweet. It'll brighten up meals through the summer and make a perfect Christmas gift. The chicken? Oh. Puppy, hop out.
No, the car's still going, so she won't hop out.
Come on. Good girl. Come on. What's he doing? Truffles is wondering where her treat is for coming to me. The mornings begin cool and still, the remnants of the earth's chill, clinging to the earth. It's a peaceful kind of time then, and it makes you feel like you're the only soul awake in the world. But the stillness doesn't last long. By 8 a.m, the sun has climbed high, and the air turns heavy and hot. By midday, sweat is dripping down my back. But there's no time to stop. The work waits for no one. There's something satisfying about preserving food, about taking something fresh and fleeting and turning it into something that will last. Preserving food is not just about extending the life of what we grow. It's a fundamental part of living sustainably and mindfully, especially in an off-grid lifestyle. Preserving food isn't just a chore. It's a way of honouring the work that went into growing it. I've got another video that I'll link here just to show you how I made this cucumber relish. By the time Paul returned, the heat of the day was in full force, and he unloaded the hay bales with care, stacking them tightly together to create a solid wall. I don't know if we need to dig it. What do you think? And as he worked, I continued slicing the cucumbers under the shade of a tree, their fresh, crisp scent mingling with the earthy smell of the soil. Every cucumber I slice for a jar of relish, every tomato I roast and freeze, is a small victory against waste. Preserving food is starting to become second nature here. It's not just about saving the surplus, it's about extending the joy of these flavours into the colder months when the earth has gone quiet. Preserves fill our shelves with jars of summer, reminding us of warmer days and the effort it took to make them. They're a gift to ourselves, our family, and even to friends. Like three like that together, and then another 3 like that together. So we got this idea of growing the potatoes in the straw bales from, I think it was an episode on Gardening Australia. So we're trying to recreate it. And even food scraps find a purpose here. Our peels and trimmings feed the compost and our worms and our chickens, turning waste into rich soil that will nourish the season's crops ahead. And in the end, nothing is truly wasted. Everything has a place, a use, and a purpose. This life, this rhythm, teaches us patience and gratitude. It shows us that abundance is not an invitation to excess, but an opportunity to prepare, to preserve, and to cherish. I added some chopped red pepper or capsicum to the cucumber relish, and look at the beautiful colour it brings. The red just pops in there. So apparently the foundation of successful hay bale gardening lies in choosing the appropriate hay. So alfalfa is a popular choice. And the last of the hay bales go down. I look out at the garden. It's not perfect, but it's ours. Rows of seedlings, freshly planted, promise sustenance, and jars of preserves cool on the counter, little treasures to open up on a cold winter day. So I helped Paul mix the soil with the compost, the mushroom compost, a rich dark mixture, and together we packed it into the cracks between the hay bales and spread it around outside down the bottom of the hay bales and across the top. Then we watered everything down, soaking the straw until it softens, making it easier for the potatoes to take root. And while we're here, Paul and I create new mounds of soil, carefully spacing them apart to give the vines room to spread. Into these mounds, we're going to plant the rest of our pumpkin, squash, grama, melon and loofah seedlings. And if all goes well, in a few months' time, the yard will be overcome with vines, a sprawling, lush jungle of green leaves and vibrant flowers. Let's hope so anyway. The thought fills me with anticipation, imagining the pumpkins ripening in the sun, the sweet scent of melons wafting through the air, and loofahs dangling from the tangled vines. It's a vision of abundance, a reward for the work that we do now. Around the hay bales, I scattered calendula seeds into the soil that Paul had laid. I imagine their sunny yellow blooms, adding a touch of beauty to the practical hay beds, while also serving a purpose. Calendula is a wonderful companion plant, helping to keep insects at bay while drawing pollinators closer. I feel like it's nature's way of giving us beauty and balance in one simple act. Hopefully we'll be able to show you our potato plants and our calendulas soon in another video coming up. We're also excited to let you know that we're going to go up to Brisbane to dismantle all the greenhouses that have been gifted to us in the next few days, so that'll be another video coming up soon too. The garden is calling, as it always does. There's something about planting that feels sacred, like you're part of a cycle much bigger than yourself. Today I plant capsicum, chili, white radish or daikon radish seedlings, each one carefully spaced and watered. The daikon radishes will grow quickly. Their crisp, peppery roots a welcome addition to our table. The sweet peas come next. A gift from Kathy at Little Garden Big Dreams. I pinch the tops out of the seedlings. Apparently it makes them bushier, and so then you'll get more flowers. I hope that's right anyway. The plants look strong and healthy. Their roots are tangled and eager to grow. I nestle them in the soil and whispering my hope that they'll thrive. We'll leave these hay bales to soak up in the sun for a few days or even a few weeks and let the rain fall on it so it becomes softer before we have a whole bunch of potatoes that we've just cut in half and let dry out a little bit, and we'll pop them in here. Not sure how they go. We didn't have a very successful harvest last year, but we'll see how it goes. If this attempt of growing potatoes is not successful, we'll probably next time buy the potato seeds and start from those instead. So with the soil and mushroom compost, I've also created a little garden bed for our sweet peas to go into. So I've created two little sweet pea beds. This is the second one, and they're right against the fence, so hopefully the sweet peas will be able to climb up those. And they're also kind of right in front of our view of the old chimneys, so hopefully that will end up looking beautiful. And we don't have any mulch left today, but we'll grab some soon and put it on top of these sweet peas as well. Kathy from Little Garden Big Dreams gave me these sweet pea seeds, so she's an expert, so if you're interested, look up her channel. The sweet peas always remind me of my grandmother. She loved their blooms, their soft fragrance filling her garden. I can still see her, tending to her flowers, with the same quiet care I now bring to mine. Planting them feels like a thread connecting me to her. So now it looks like I've planted everything out except the cucumbers from the seedlings trays. I do have a whole heap of cells and other pots where the seeds haven't germinated at all. What have you been doing?
I have replaced the starter motor on my car. And I never want to do it again. That was hard. I'm a little bit messy. But that's expected.
You love it.
Okay, I need your help.
So while Paul cleans up, I plant the last of the cucumber seedlings in the raised beds. They grew really well here last season, so I'm hoping they're going to do well here again. The effort, the dirt under our nails, the sweat on our brows, it's all worth it. This life, this rhythm teaches us patience and gratitude. And as we continue working in the garden, we find a spicebush, swallowtail, chrysalis, tucked among the leaves. It's a little miracle, a reminder of the beauty that exists even in the smallest corners of our world. The day isn't over yet. I've just put the cherry tomatoes in the barbecue outside to roast in their oven. The sweet aroma fills the air, and the sight of them glistening and golden brings a sense of accomplishment. I've packed them in containers and sandwich bags to freeze them, ready to be turned into sauces and stews and to put on pizzas and pastas when the fresh tomatoes are a distant memory. And the relish is bright and colourful. Its red and green hues a cheerful nod to Christmas. I fill jar after jar, each one a small treasure to be shared with family and friends. And as the sun sets, painting the sky in shades of gold and pink, I step back to take it all in. The garden, the hay bales, the jars of relish cooling on the counter. It's a lot of work, but it's good work. Work that feeds us, not just in a literal sense, but in a deeper way.